Hey, what is going on, fellas? It is that time again for another XBnPC news mashup. I tried doing these videos individually, but honestly, I figure if I'm going to put these videos together for you guys, I might as well do it right and give you your money's worth. Plus, it's just a little bit easier to do one video that includes all these things together, as opposed to doing 10 separate ones. And I'm not really here for the whole, clickbait 2-minute videos anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this. First up will be the games and software as usual, and then it's on to the PC hardware news. Starting things off, it looks like we will be getting some more sweet action with Recore for less money than we thought. This is a Microsoft Play Anywhere title, so it's buy once and play it on your Xbox or your PC with cross-platform play. And it's being developed by one of the creators of Metroid, which means Recore has some serious pedigree, and initial impressions of this game are positive. Not only that, but apparently this will only cost $40, again, for both the Xbox and a PC copy on day one. So, I don't know about you guys, but I loved Metroid as a kid, which was a while ago, admittedly. But if you're into that game, or if you're into the whole, exploring and kind of making your character a more and more powerful thing to do different things in the game world and be more badass, this might be one to check out before the downpour of holiday titles starts rolling in. In other news, and it should come as no surprise, it is another awesome month to be an Xbox Live Gold member, with games like WWE 2K16 and Orochi Warriors 3 Ultimate both coming to the Xbox One for free, along with more free games from the Xbox 360 back catalog like the cult classic Beyond Good and Evil. Again, I recommend at least claiming the license for these games every month. If you never download them or play them, at least you'll have them in your library available for download to play anytime. And with Microsoft servers, your game saves are always in the cloud waiting for you anytime as well. So basically, why the hell not? Maybe you're bored one day and then bam, Good and Evil saves the day. So check out the links below for details on how to claim those titles for free. And another good news out of Microsoft, it appears that a loophole has been found to still get a copy of Windows 10 for free, as long as you have a qualifying OS, of course, Windows 7 or above, with games and features and support that you simply will not find anywhere else. This comes highly recommended from me personally, and just like those games for gold, as I was saying, once you have claimed or activated your license for Windows 10, or those games, the software will be yours to use or download and install whenever you want from here on out. You have the rights, the license for that game, forever as far as I know, but definitely worth a few mouse clicks. And even if you, for some odd reason, don't want to use this right away, you can get to it and use it whenever you want, which is awesome. So I'd go ahead and do that. But a couple things to note about Windows and Xbox gaming while we're on the subject. At the moment, the brand new anniversary update for Windows 10 is now rolling out to PCs in waves. I actually got the update and did the upgrade last night, and I must say, aside from some new UI user interface adjustments, the OS just feels snappier to me. Seriously, I really think it's just better, guessing my next move, fetching data more quickly, etc. all around. Anyway, I've yet to see any kind of performance comparisons between the old version, quote-unquote, but it did feel faster to me. And, you pair this update on your desktop with the recently released summer update on your Xbox One, and you've got everything that you need to get your Play Anywhere on. So, you will need both these updates to go ahead and enable that sweet cross-platform, cross-buy goodness. And both these updates do come bearing some additional other gifts as well, such as Cortana, support for the Xbox One, and enhanced security, etc. for your PC. So on top of that, if you're rocking a HoloLens, you will be able to make better use of that device. With the update to Windows Holographic coming in the update as well, this looks just crazy cool, of course. But unless you have money coming out of your you-know-what, you'll just have to admire these pictures and videos, just as I will, and watch other people like Tony Stark and whomever else is out there enjoying the future while we sit here on our Peon monitors. But links below on how to get Windows 10 for free. Sorry, no links on how to get a HoloLens for free, but if you find one of those, link me in. But still, how to force the anniversary update. Links are below on that as well. So if you haven't gotten the update yet and you want to go ahead and enable that today as opposed to waiting for your turn, quote unquote, links below for that as well. And now, moving on to the hardware news, we have a lot to cover as usual. Obviously, 2 major launches have taken place since my last kind of rant, and those launches have really widened the market for consumers in terms of GPUs, with the RX 470 bringing super strong performance to the sub $200 GPU market. It's never been done before, and nVidia's new Pascal-based Titan rounding out the super, ultra, crazy rich, possessed, or both enthusiast market. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Titan first, because it's going to be pretty quick. It is what we all thought it was going to be. This thing is just freaking fast, and it's on average about 30 to 40% faster than the previous king for only a single month, the GTX 1080, which, as you guys know, was already insanely quick and already pretty substantial in terms of hurting your wallet. But this thing goes even further in performance and cost. It is the new top dog, it is the new Pascal-based Titan, and this bad boy comes packing another chunk of cores that the GTX 1080 just doesn't have, giving this thing some extra muscle, although it's not flexing as hard out of the gate, with clocks being a little bit lower than what they are on the GTX 1080. Because this chip is larger than the GTX 1080, it is going to produce more heat and therefore kind of battle itself more internally in terms of just thermal dynamics and being able to get those higher clock speeds. But with that being said, this is the GP102, so it is the big brother to the GP104, again found in the GTX 1070 and 1080, and the even bigger, burlier brother to the GP106 found in the GTX 1060, and soon to be, surely in a partially disabled form, the GTX 1050. So this is not the largest chip in the Pascal family, which nVidia may end up renaming to their next generation of architectures if they do any further improvements on the core, on the architecture overall. For the GP100, they may rename that into their next, quote-unquote version. But still, GP102 is a very big chip, and there is possibly room for a new Pascal-based Titan Black Edition that has all of those cores enabled. Surely when nVidia starts getting the yields better and better and starts getting more quote-unquote perfect chips, we will see hopefully a variant of that nature that will surely cost more and perform even better. But we also have room in there for a GTX 1080 Ti, so possibly a GP102 variant with a few more of those cores disabled, giving it a core count roughly in between the new Pascal Titan and the GTX 1080. Would certainly be interesting for a lot of folks and hopefully hit that price point around $800, which is closer to the 1080 in terms of a dollar amount, but should be closer to the Titan in terms of its performance. So I've got my fingers crossed for that one. And again, the other release, aside from the crazy big boy, the Titan, has obviously been the brand spanking new AMD RX 470. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the chase. This is our new price performance champion. It is more money than expected, but still less than $200 and worth every single penny in whatever form you may end up with. With a partially disabled AMD Polaris XT core, the RX 470 is still only barely gimped, and because it's using slightly less cores than the RX 480 in this new Polaris Pro variant, the chip does not create as much heat, nor does it use as much power. Now, this allows the GPU to clock slightly higher and to maintain those clocks across, large sections of gameplay and even stress testing, at least from what I've seen, and that reflects in its scores across the board. This really does remind me of the 980 Ti and the old Maxwell-based Titan. With slightly less cores running, the 980 Ti was able to clock higher, as is the one I currently have than any Titans I've seen without water cooling, and it's able to close that gap and even best the Titan in certain scenarios. Now, I'm not saying that the RX 470 is going to be better than the RX 480, but these cards are damn close to one another. In terms of performance and price, talking about 5–10% here performance-wise, variation at most. And all of these cards from the add-in board partners and AMD themselves should get progressively faster as their pricing goes up, as it should be, obviously. But basically what I'm saying here is even if you get an RX 470 for, say, 230 bucks, although that sounds like a lot for an RX 470, it's going to have better cooling than a comparably priced RX 480. If you can even get one for that price, again, $199 being the the price for the 4GB card, the RX 480, you may get twice the RAM on the RX 470 and better cooling, and be able to clock that core, that GPU higher than a comparably priced RX 480. So performance-wise, it should be right around where that same price RX 480 is in terms of performance per dollar, etc. So you guys can go ahead and check out Matt with Unboxed Hardware and his review of the RX 470 if you want to see more on that. Again, he does end up crowning this the new undisputed price performance champion. So check it out if you want to see the details on why he says that. But this card is an absolute monster and just annihilates 1080p Full HD. And again, personal opinion, I'd run this card at 1440p all day and be happy about my settings and my frame rates, but that's just me. So great news for consumers. Anybody in the market for one of these cards, look on Newegg right now. They do still have some of the reference type blower designs available from Sapphire for under $200. If you want to get one of these cards, I would hit that button fast, as these will be gone very soon, I'm sure. In other hardware news, Seagate has announced a breakthrough in its 3D V-NAND technology with a new 64-layer process capable of even greater densities in terms of data storage than Samsung's previously industry-leading 48-layer process, which basically is in the vast majority of Samsung's current solid-state drives on the market. With that being said, Samsung came out not long thereafter and made their own announcement that they will too be moving to a 64-layer process themselves. But you know what? Parity is better than getting your butt handed to you for Seagate, which has been the case up until this point, so pretty cool for them. And in this new age of ultra-dense SSDs, Seagate, as a matter of fact, just announced a brand new 2TB M.2 form factor NVMe-enabled SSD that only uses 7 watts of power, which, guys, we gotta check our egos here real quick because we're getting pretty big on our tech britches, so to speak. I mean, this is an awesome amount of data on a little stick that's the size of your finger. That would be great in low-power laptops or a Surface Pro type tablet. With all of this new ultra-low-power technology being fabricated on smaller and smaller nodes and processes, and getting more and more dense data on the data side and powerful on the processing side, we really are heading towards some dramatic increases in the overall awesomeness of our experiences with our tech that we use on a day-to-day basis. So, we're going to have phones soon with a 1/4 terabyte. We're going to have 1 terabyte micro SD cards. We're going to have tablets that can do video editing and gaming and hold data as well with super low power and great battery life. So, great time for consumers, great time for gamers. Great time to be alive. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I know I am. Appreciate all the subs out there, all the likes, all the comments, everything. So you guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.